Hello, Pastor Paul Slater here from Mission Church of the Nazarene with the Mission Minute. One of the great songs that I grew up really loving is the song, "Great is Thy Faithfulness." And it has a significant meaning to those of us who love that song. Perhaps you've never heard it, it's an older hymn, but it has to do with the fact that we can count on God. The man who wrote it, Thomas Chisholm, was a Methodist pastor, if I remember right. But he wanted to write, songs that were based in Scripture. And so talking about the mercies of God, they're fresh, they're new. And then he declares, "Great is thy faithfulness." What's interesting, it comes from, Lamentations 3. Now, if I were to read the verses from Lamentations 3, you would be very thankful that we did not write hymns or songs based upon these verses. Let me give you an example. He says, "I'm a man who's seen much trouble. God beat us back with a stick, and I saw it happen. He led and brought me into darkness, not light. He turned his hand against me. He did this again and again all day." Now, I'm not quite sure how you would get a scripture song out of that, but it'd be pretty morbid. What's interesting, I have listed here the third chapter of Lamentations has 66 verses. And it's only in a few places that we see the grace and mercy of God shine forth. I got to thinking about that. That's like many of us. In fact, most of these verses have to do with depression, deep depression, most likely written by Jeremiah and reflecting upon his past and some of the ordeals that he went through as the suffering servant of God. A prophet who was oftentimes laughed at. He was thrown into prison. They threw him into a well and he sank down and it covered his head. And he makes reference to that in this lamentation is what it's called. As I looked at this list of verses, it came to me that many times we all live in darkness. I had a friend who would often talk about the dark night of the soul. He tended to just live in depression. And yet, here is the declaration of Jeremiah. We'll say that he wrote it. He said, "I thought I would never have peace again. I forgot about good things. I said to myself, I no longer have any hope that the Lord will help me. Remember, I am very sad. I have no home. Remember the bitter poison that you gave me. I remember well all my troubles, and I am very sad." Not time for a song yet, but here it comes. "But then I think about this, and I have hope. We are still alive because the Lord's faithful love never ends. Every morning he shows it in new ways. You are so true and loyal. In other words, great is your faithfulness." As we conclude the interim ministry of Russ Martin, we'll be doing so on Sunday. We invite you to come 9:30 to our live service. Also be online at 9:30. He's been teaching us about God, our Father, and the prayer that Jesus taught us, "Our Father who art in heaven." And one of the references to the song, right at the chorus, we sing it, "Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me." And Thomas Chisholm, as he wrote this song, he made reference to the fact that it was God our Father that is faithful. We do invite you to come to our services on Sunday. By the way, it's a time to spring forward as far as the clocks are concerned. Yeah, there's a change in our times that we experience a couple times a year. So this time it's Spring Forward, and we want you to come and be a part of our services, 9:30 in the morning. You can find more about our church and the announcements, how to give, at missionnaz.org on the internet. Well, God bless you. Great is his faithfulness.